Hey everyone, Internet PCS book reader here. Today I'm going to talk about What If We Stop Pretending by Jonathan Fraser. Jonathan Fraser is mostly known for two things. One is that he's a fiction writer who has racked up a lot of award for his writing, and two, he has some TV shows that don't last more than his pilot season. Other than that, he also known for birdwatching and some of his non-fiction with a few works regarding climate change. He's had a few controversies from what I've seen, but most of them feels too much like tabloid gossip for me to even bring it up here. Besides his work on fiction, he has also done some essays in climate change. I haven't read his previous books, so I have no further comment on them, but this book is another essay about climate change from him. What If We Stop Pretending, despite making a lot of good points, is lacking in many ways that I will try to explain further. The book opens with telling us the sureness of seeing climate change for a certain age demographic, which is true. There are a lot less climate change deniers now since its change has been very visible to us now. He then continued to make an argument that climate change is not something that we can still stop, which I also agree actually. Most of the people that deny climate change are from the right wing of politics, and the people of the left are still mostly busy arguing that we can still stop climate change if we made enough change. Which might be true if we follow up on the first paper in 1896, or even in the 1980s when climate change first became a political argument. But we are not back then. We are now in 2023 going to 2024. It's not like we stopped carbon emission during the decades that we are still arguing. And meanwhile, all the carbon before that are still there, since a lot of their variation can stay up to 100 years up there. And that's the entire thing that this book can offer. It didn't even bother listing a lot of the things I mentioned so far, including the carbon expirations. I added those in for context. The author then ends the book with how humanity is not over after climate change has ruined the earth, and that's it for the book. A lot of the point made in the book is very valid, but there really is no point in making this into a book with how little it have to say. The book is very small with barely more than 50 pages, and it got to more than 50 because of how small the book is and how big the font they use is. And as if that's not absurd enough, a lot of the pages are mostly empty pages like this, as if to pad the book so it have more inside it. Anyone here know about the case from Mick Gordon, the guy who made the new generation Doom game soundtrack? He released a huge post online on how he was treated in the industry by the people at Bethesda IT Software who works on the Doom game. It was a long list with a lot of detail and pictures on their communication and everything that has happened since the release of the soundtrack to the post that he made. That post that you can read for free had more words combined than this book. This book feels like some tweets online, tweet longer, or some online post. And you know why it feels like this is an online post? Because it is exactly that, an online post. The main content of the book was a post made in the New Yorker with the same title on 2019. I mean, look at this screenshot from the New Yorker post and look at this opening of the book. They are literally the same. It's just that the book version has a few extra pages of foreword, and then at the end of the book he added another content from an existing interview. Then call it a day. The only mention that the content of the book is a copy-paste from online article from himself is if you read the small print in the copyright section at the start. Which I know that book don't actually have a lot of carbon footprint, and it is rich if this criticism is coming from me who is still buying all the paper book for my review. But for a book that wanted to educate about biodiversity and carbon footprint, releasing a very unnecessary book in hardcover is at least very lame, and at worst feels like a lazy quick cash grab targeted at people who care. And if you think that's not bad enough, it got worse. Compared to some of the books from this year that have some education on climate change like Regenesis, which I review highly, and even vegan propaganda that I reviewed poorly, they have some sources on them. But this book has none. Besides the two sources that he copy-pasted from himself, not a single source at all. I know that what he mentioned is all true because I've read further on them, but how lazy are you as a writer to charge money for a book with a lot of claim and none of the sources where you got this claim except inside the writing? You know what made this book having no source listed in the book is fuck up? Not just because it makes it seem like he just made up his claim in the book, but also because if you go to the sources, to the article in the New Yorker, every mention of a study or another article had the sources linked in the article. He can just copy-paste those sources into this book, but no, he's busy watching, I guess, so he can be bothered to add them. Now pay up. And because of that, this book that you need to pay for is somehow a worse version than its free online version. You can find a much better discussion on the same topic with the same price range of this book or even less. Regenesis that I've mentioned made a lot of good points and even example of places that climate change has changed in worse way, not just theoretically or figuratively, but literally. And I can't find better example than this book or the article that the author copy-pasted from 2019. The only thing that these two books have in common is the optimism that yes, a lot of us will suffer from the damage caused by climate change, but as a species, we will still survive. It will suck a lot more than what we have imagined since there's not much study regarding how to live after the damage has done, but all three of them close their essays with how there are still people finding new ways to live. In Regenesis, George Monbiot ended his book by showing us the work of farmers that have found new ways to farm that makes the environment better. And this book shows us that there will always be small communities that will help each other and will support each other when it matters. Just because there are bad people who are actively ruining the world, that doesn't mean good people will be gone. And I agree with all of that. But this book was published in 2021, and somehow with 2 years gap in between the article and the book, instead of doing more research and adding more data and evidence, he instead missed copy-pasting all the sources from the original article. It's a new book with nothing new added, only taken out. It's so insufferably lazy. All or most of the argument in this book is still very valid. If I was reading only the online version, I would have rated it higher or maybe not read it at all. But because I bought this book on discount and I still feel like I was scammed, I give this book a 0. What do you think? Are you gonna read it? Did I miss anything? Leave your thoughts in the comment below and subscribe to the channel. That's about it.